Welcome to everyone who has joined us, first time or otherwise. First of all, a big hand for you because you have given your health a priority. So, big hand for all of you. Anybody here who wants to live a life without medicines, please type me in the chat box. If you're somebody who wants to live a life without medicine, please type me in the chat box. Wonderful, wonderful. Yes, all of us, right? All of us. That's exactly what got me to Sharan. I've always wanted to live a life without medicines. I would see our elders, my grandmothers and everyone going to the doctors, getting all these treatments done. And I used to think, I don't want to grow old or grow up and become an adult because you have to go to the doctors and go get medicines. And as you ask, so shall you receive. And that's how I received this gift of health. And I and Rachna and anybody here who's following the Sharan lifestyle can vouch for what I'm going to be sharing with you today because it is possible to live a life without medicines. We have to only take care of certain aspects and we are good to go. And that's what I'm going to be sharing with you today. Um, so let me start my screen share. And happy Mother's Day to all the beautiful mums here. Okay, all right. So, as Rachna mentioned, SHARAN stands for, it's an acronym, it stands for Sanctuary for Health and Reconnection to Animals and Nature. And somewhere we have got disconnected to animals and nature, and that is why we are having health issues. And that's what we're going to do in today's session is reconnect to animals and nature. Okay. And we at Sharan believe that our health is in our own hands. I used to think that you get sick, you go to the doctor gives you medicine, you come back and you have the medicine and you get fine. But later I've realized that I am the one who caused my sickness in the first place. So I am the author of my health and I am the author of my disease as well. Okay. So let's see what is our current scenario. Okay, India is home to nearly 40% of world's heart failure patients, and now age is no bar. From 20s to 30s to 40s to 50s to 60s, anything can happen anytime. Did you know India is the diabetes capital of the world? We have the highest amount of number of diabetics in our country, second largest in heart rate disease in the world, and third largest country in obesity. Not some crowns that we can be very, very proud of. Also, India has the second highest number of obese children in the world. Hypertension, which is blood pressure, is on the rise amongst teens, and cancer. Like if I were to meet you all maybe 10 years ago and ask you, do you know somebody with cancer? I don't know how many of you would have said yes. But today, if I ask you, do you know somebody with cancer? I'm 100% sure nearly 90% of all would say, yes, I know somebody with cancer. Isn't it scary that right now each one of us knows somebody who's got cancer? So much so that now there are cancer specialized clinics, and LIC has taken the first disease insurance policy, which is a policy against cancer because cancer is so expensive. In one of my sessions, I had somebody who had cancer and I asked her, how much did your treatment? And this is pre COVID, huh? So must be 4, 5 years ago. She had come to my class and I asked her, did you get how much did your cancer cost you? That time she said, I knew the doctor, he gave me a discount. I said, okay, how much did it cost you? She said 10 lakhs. Okay. So cancer is debilitating from every aspect of our life. And that's why LIC has taken a cancer insurance policy. And let me tell you a diet that is given to people who are undergoing cancer treatment. Now, don't go by this hospital. I checked, and mostly all hospitals are giving this diet. I know it's not so clear. So let me make it clear for you. What is allowed for for a patient who's undergoing cancer treatment? All cooked, frozen, canned vegetables are allowed. Canned vegetables, huh? All canned, frozen fruits, baked products, nuts allowed. All well cooked meat, fish, chicken, lamb, eggs, oil, ghee, butter, cakes, cream filled donuts, kheer, tea, coffee, soups, Tetra Pak juices. This is what is allowed. Now, we are all lay people over here. We all know how healthy this is or how unhealthy this is. And this is what is given to somebody who's undergoing cancer treatment. And what is not allowed? Sorry, one second. I can't see my screen. Yeah. What is not allowed? Raw vegetables, salads, fruits, dried fruits are not allowed. I don't know if you know, but most cancer cases have a relapse because diet is not taken care of. Of course, there are other aspects to be taken care of, but diet is one important thing that needs to be taken care of. According to the World Health Organization, depression will be the second leading cause of death by 2020. We are in 2025. I already know two cases in my own family where depression was the cause of death. Okay. So this is how I looked 12 years ago. I was 65 kilos of weight. I did everything under the sun to try reduce the weight. Nothing worked. 63 ke baad, the scale wouldn't move at all. Okay. And I had severe acidity. Anybody here having acidity? Anybody here? Yes. Okay. You know how acidity is, right? गैस ठीक है थोड़ा हिंदी में बोलो I'll try तो acidity gas I had severe acidity and you can't sleep I went to the doctor मैं डॉक्टर के पास गई डॉक्टर ने मेडिसिन दिया as always and I didn't want to take the medicine because I avoid medicine मुझे medicine बिल्कुल नहीं पसंद तो I went to the doctor then luckily उसी time मुझे शर्म के बारे में पता चला I went to a program where there was a movie screening I watched the movie Forks Over Knives. Dr. Nandita bhi the udhar. And I started seeing the movie. And doctor said, ye karna, which I'm going to share with you today. And jab main sun rahi thi, I said, forget it, main nahi karungi. This is not possible. But when I had the food, they had served delicious food over there, which you will understand what kind of food they served. And that's the time I felt oh my God, I can do this. Because what do we want at the end of the day? हमें क्या चाहिए at the end of the day? Tasty खाना और healthy खाना. अगर tasty है उसमें क्या पड़ा हुआ है doesn't matter as long as it's tasty. So I tried what doctor said. And 3 दिन में, 3 days, my acidity just disappeared. And I got very excited because remember, I want to live a life without medicines. So I got very excited. I started making the changes slowly, slowly, slowly. And in 8 months, 8 महीने में, I lost 17 kilos of weight. And it's been nearly 11 years now. And I've been able to maintain my weight. Usually, kya hota hai, we put on, we again go back on a diet, again we put on, but I've been able to maintain because this lifestyle and this food is so delicious ki it is possible. Okay. So let's listen to somebody else who also benefits.
I have had diabetes for 15 years and I had a reasonably high cholesterol level as well. I was overweight and I was on 3 medications for diabetes, so I've been taking them for a very long time. In the middle of the first week, after 3 days or so, as we looked at the sugar values, Dr. Nandita said, let's get rid of one medication. And after 2 days, we got rid of the second one. The second week, the progress was still pretty good, so we decided to get rid of that as well. So for the last 12 days or so, or 10 days or so, I am on no medication. And I have lost 5 kgs in the last 18 days. So in fact, the last hole in my belt, was not enough now to hold my pants up. So we had to get the 6th hole drilled by the hotel staff here. So now I can wear my pants without fearing it falling off. As I prepare for my retirement in a few years is that if I'm not healthy, it's not going to be a good life. And it was a big motivation for me to get on this path of health. So this is really magical in my mind to be able to do that so quickly and have a lifestyle and the diet intervention and the program that we can implement for the rest of the life. So I'm very positive, seeing what I've seen all the other people, what I've read about people who've gone on this, that this will work and this already is working and this will be a very sustainable thing.
So today, disease has become a household name. घर घर की कहानी हो गई है. हर घर में कुछ ना कुछ health issue है, isn't it? First of all, we are starting with early puberty. Earlier, girls used to get puberty at 16, went to 14, 11. Now we are hearing 8 and 9. This is not natural. Thyroid बहुत बहुत common हो गया है. Obesity, diabetes, cancer, heart disease. जो बीच में डिजीज क्लब्स है. अगर आपने एक बायपास कराया तो उसकी अलग क्लब है. अगर आपने दो बायपास कराया उसकी अलग क्लब है. एंड ब्लड प्रेशर. एवरीबडी थिंक 40 के बाद तो सबको होता है. एवरीबडी गेट्स ब्लड प्रेशर. व्हाट्स द बिग डील? जस्ट हैव मेडिसिन. एंड ब्लड प्रेशर मेडिसिन आर लाइफ लॉन्ग. Okay. And then polycystic ovarian, PCOD, so common in youngsters now. So age bhi chali gayi hai. Age is also no longer a factor. Okay. And what are doctors doing? Doctors are managing diseases, not curing them. Doctors खुद दवाइयां ले रहे हैं. And it is not their fault क्योंकि 4 साल of medical school, 4 years of medical school, they are never taught about nutrition and the role of nutrition in health. खाली 2 घंटे का lecture होता है on that. Otherwise, they themselves don't know. So it's not their fault. However, there are some doctors who did some work and research. Like we have Dr. Neil Bernard, who did research on reversing, I'm talking about reversing diabetes. Dr. Dean Ornish, who did on reversal of heart disease. We have Dr. McDougall, who did on digestive issues, because we have so many digestive issues, digestive problems now. Some of you in the chat box were writing stomach issues, bloating. That is all digestive issues. China study, which is the biggest study of food and cancer and what is their relationship. And in India, we have Dr. Nandita Shah, the founder of SHARAN, who has changed thousands and thousands of lives in prevention or reversal of diseases. She's also the recipient of the Nari Shakti Puraskar, the highest award for women in our country, because she's helped so many people. And she's also the author of the bestseller Reversing Diabetes in 21 Days. And every single time, whenever I go out to a wedding or a function, I always thank her because इतना buffet में होता है, but हम लोग इतना थोड़ा खा सकते हैं, and we take care of our health just by ensuring that we're eating right, right? So today I'm going to talk to you how we're going to eat your way to health, right? How can we eat delicious, healthy, yummy food and still be healthy? Okay. So let's find out the 3 F's to health. अगर आप ये 3 F समझ गए, then आपको किसी के पास जाने की जरूरत नहीं है. आप खुद अपने डॉक्टर बन जाएंगे. Okay. The first F. Can anybody tell me what is the main cause of most lifestyle disease? It starts with F. What do you think is one of the main cause of most lifestyle diseases? If you could type in the chat box. Food, fat, fast food, fear, food, fried items. Okay, good try. Good try, everyone. Fast food, wonderful. Okay. The main cause is fat. Okay. And now, when we know the main cause, what do we have to do? We have to remove it, right? Rachna, I'm not able to see the chat box, so I'll need your help whenever I ask a question.
Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
Okay. So, fat, remove it. Okay. So, let me explain to you in layman terms. क्या होता है? जब वी आर ईटिंग फैट फ्रॉम चाइल्डहुड, हम बचपन से फैट खाते रहते हैं. फैट हमारे बॉडी के अंदर जाता है एंड इट इज येलो कलर का. फैटी डिपॉजिट्स फिट होते जाते हैं, अक्यूमुलेट हो जाते हैं. दे कीप फिलिंग 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 अंटिल एक दिन ऐसा है दैट द ब्लड कैनॉट फ्लो. एंड व्हेन द ब्लड कैनॉट फ्लो, देन ऑल लाइफस्टाइल डिजीजेस स्टार्ट. जैसे अगर आपने टनल देखा है, जैसे लोनावला के जाने के लिए एक टनल होता है. सपोज आप सालों से उसमें पत्थर डालते जाते हो, रोज हजारों पत्थर डालते जाते हो. देयर बी अ टाइम वेयर द कार विल नॉट बी एबल टू मूव. That's what happens with us as well. Let me show it to you.
Atherosclerosis is a disease that affects all the arteries of the human body and which develops over time. It is characterized by the accumulation of fatty deposits on the lining of the arteries, which are called plaques of atherosclerosis. These plaques cause a narrowing of the arteries. When atherosclerosis affects the coronary arteries, it's known as coronary disease.
You saw the yellow fatty deposits? Okay, that's what's happening. So the main cause of lifestyle diseases is fat. Okay, so now we have to understand, where does the fat come into our body? So the first thing is oil. Oil is pure fat and zero fiber. If you come to my house for a meal, we do not use a drop of oil in our cooking, and it's so delicious. Okay, because anybody ever here tasted oil? Does oil have taste? Oil has no taste. It's a marketing that we need, that food is not tasty without oil. Okay, so see, this is the nutrition facts of oil. Can you see? It has got only fat. Sirf fat hai. Okay, there is no vitamins, no fiber, no nothing. It's pure fat. So what do we have do when we first start cooking? We put oil. We have to stop putting oil in our cooking. And if you go to our website, you go to our YouTube channel, you go to our Instagram channel, इतने delicious oil-free recipes है, आप surprise हो जाओगे. And all the ladies here, don't tell your family, I'm not putting oil. उनको पता भी नहीं चलेगा. Just cook without oil, keep the food on the table, and they will love it. Trust me. And we are not stopping oil, huh? When we are eating coconut, when we are eating peanuts, when we are eating mustard, we are getting the oil. So it's not that we are stopping oil, we are stopping the refined oils. Okay. And to give oil, flavor of oil in your food, you can just put grated coconut, roasted crushed peanuts, sesame on your dish, and you will get the oil's flavor. Okay. So the first thing which has fat is oil. Deep fried foods, so of course, we have to avoid as much as possible. But every day, see, you go out sometimes, you go on a holiday, you eat a little bit of oil here and there, it's okay. But at least at home, घर पे तो हम लोग oil बंद कर सकते हैं, right? At least 6 दिन हम लोग अच्छा खाना खा सकते हैं. फिर एक दिन जाके, अभी तक हमारे बॉडी ने हमको सपोर्ट किया है, तो हम कम तेल का खाएं, but रोज घर पे without oil we can eat. We make delicious pakoras, batata varas without a drop of oil. Okay. Second thing which has fat is processed foods. Processed foods contain fats. Okay.
Dear Diary, today I feel very sad and I want to eat everything.
The problem is that we are not eating food anymore. We are eating food like products. And they are adorned, they are made to look better and smell better so that people are attracted to them.
It's not your fault. You're programmed to put on fat whenever there is food available. But now there's a lot of food available, but it's the wrong kind.
Sugar is in everything. In America, we're eating about 22 teaspoons of sugar a day.
Even the milk hasn't escaped. So, let me just show you. One kid, just the 5 years of elementary school, sugar, just from milk.
You might as well be rolling up the kid's sleeve and putting in heroin, because it's the same.
The marketing essentially lies to you because it presents you with the promise you're going to be sexy and popular and cool, but in reality, you're going to be obese and miserable and sick.
Nothing else does it in your brain quite like a Diet Cola. And that's because there's a deadly combination there of aspartame and caffeine.
I think most people believe the FDA actually has their own scientists that do this analysis, but then nothing could be further from the truth.
If I was in the food industry, what am I looking to do? I want to sell you more food. They're into just selling a market.
You can lose weight on a diet, but it's a little bit like borrowing from Peter to pay Paul. I mean, you can get 10 pounds off your body through sheer force, but you're going to have to pay back with interest.
People know this, so why are highly intelligent people not stopping? Because they don't know the nature of the trap.
The whole dieting paradigm is flawed.
I was 31 when I realized I don't know how to take care of myself and I am sick. So I had to go back and learn all the things that I wish I had known as a child.
doctors, I did mud baths, acupuncture, I did the lot. The one thing which I was really afraid to face up to was changing what I put into my mouth.
I never heard of a raw food restaurant. Raw food, how do you cook raw food? I thought vegan was a planet.
I was over 400 pounds, and I had very bad sleep apnea. I was borderline type 2 diabetic.
Cleansing and detoxification will make you lose weight, will make your eyes white, will make your skin glow.
If somebody's got beautiful skin, it invites us to a deeper understanding about what's going on inside their body.
What we're talking about is a real diet in the sense of what a species eats. When we get onto our real diet, we don't have to think about these things anymore.
What do you think the body's going to do? It's not going to reject this at all. It's going to look and say, now I'm on board. Now you're good to me, let me shine for you.
तो प्रोसेस्ड फूड्स में जो टॉक्सिन्स होते हैं, प्रिजर्वेटिव्स होते हैं, पेस्टिसाइड्स होते हैं, प्लास्टिक होता है, दैट गेट्स स्टोर्ड इन द फैटी टिश्यू and doesn't allow the fat to get out of your body. So we need to stop getting packaged and processed foods because they will never help you be healthy. They will, in fact, add in the fat and make sure that the existing fat does not get removed. So the first thing which brings fat into our body is oil. The second thing which brings fat into our body is processed foods. The third thing which brings fat into our body is meat. Meat is pure fat, high protein, and zero fiber. So, what's in your meat? Okay, when I'm talking about meat, I'm talking about meat, fish, eggs. Okay, meat is full of fat. It's high in cholesterol. See, our body produces cholesterol, but when we eat meat, we are adding that body's cholesterol into our body, and that's where the body goes for a toss. Our cholesterol levels go for a toss. It eats other animals. What that other animal has what the animal that you have eaten has an impact on you. जैसे mad cow disease क्यों हुई थी? Because they took male calves, they churned them, blended them and fed the female calves, and that's why mad cow disease happened. Okay, adrenaline. Okay, this is very important. Anybody here ever tried to catch a cockroach? Please type yes in the chat box if you have tried to catch a cockroach. Anybody here ever tried to catch a cockroach? Nobody's tried to catch a cockroach?
Yes, we are getting
We have.
answers. Manish,
Yeah.
Neha, Vasant.
Yes. Okay. All right. Tell me, is it easy to catch a cockroach?
No.
No. Does the cockroach know it's in danger?
Yes.
Yes. The cockroach knows it's in danger. When we are in danger, we produce a stress hormone called adrenaline. Okay. Adrenaline is and then, so basically, if a cockroach knows it's in danger, then a hen and a goat and a pig, they all know that they are in danger. Correct? So when we consume an animal that is being slaughtered, their adrenaline level is very, very high. So we eat the stress also. Have you ever thought that you can actually eat stress? That food can cause stress to you? Anybody here who was a non-vegetarian became a vegetarian? Please type me in the chat box. Anybody here who was a non-vegetarian became a vegetarian? I was a non-vegetarian, became a
Yes,
vegetarian.
we have a lot of people.
Okay. Can all the people who became vegetarian after becoming non-vegetarian, do you feel your stress levels have reduced? Please type yes in the chat box. Do you feel from non-vegetarian to vegetarian, your stress, you become more calmer as a person?
Yes, we have Manish, Sabrina, Yo, Priya, Shakti, Nalini.
Yes. So can you see? Food that is full of stress, when we eat that food, we also get stressed. That is adrenaline. Then carcinogens. Meat is cancer causing. See, our meat is acid. Our body is alkaline. Okay. The moment we put acid into our body, cancer cells, we all have cancer cells, all of us. Cancer cells thrive in an acidic environment. So the moment we put acidic food in our body, the cancer cells start thriving. Okay. So meat, fish, eggs are carcinogenic. Okay. Earlier times we used to have meat. Whoever had meat, I remember as an occasion, maybe on Sundays. Today we have animal products literally every single day in our meals. That's why the rates of cancers have increased. And of course, toxins. Meat, fish, eggs are full of acidic toxins which are not meant for your body. So you will ask me, oh,
When it is time.
before that, let me just show you a little video to show what's happening. Even if you don't eat meat, you should know what is happening in the world. Okay, so please watch this.
When it is time for hatching, eggs are removed from the incubator trays. The chicks are separated from their shells in a callous and rough manner by workers who just pick up newly hatched chicks, shake them hard to get rid of traces of shells that may be sticking to their bodies, and then toss them carelessly into trays. Chicks struggle to get back on their feet after they are tossed from one tray to another for sorting. They often die when their heads get stuck between trays or they fall onto the hatchery floor. One-day-old chicks are stuffed into crates and taken to ill-ventilated rearing sheds.
Chickens are the most abused animals, packed into filthy sheds, often with thousands of other birds. Fumes from their accumulated waste burn their throats and eyes. Most birds lose their feathers and develop blistering, ulcered feet, and other ailments. They are pushed to grow such unnaturally large upper bodies so fast that their legs often become crippled under their own weight. According to scientists, a mother hen will turn her eggs as many as 5 times in an hour and cluck to her chicks while they're still in the shell, and her chicks chirp back. But on egg farms, hens spend their entire lives crammed into wire cages so small that they can't even spread a single wing. Because they can't use them, their muscles waste away and their bones deteriorate. Standing on the wire, their feet become lacerated. The ends of their sensitive beaks are cut off with a hot blade, causing them chronic pain.
During the process, chicks are transported from one carton to another and eventually passed to the worker, who quickly cuts off their beaks and tosses the bleeding chicks into another carton.
Some birds starve to death because eating is too painful. They never even see their own babies. At the end of their miserable lives, chickens are grabbed by their frail legs and wings, often causing broken bones, and stuffed inside cages to be transported to the slaughterhouse, where they are slammed upside down into metal shackles and shocked in an electrical water bath. Many escape the electric shock only to have their throats slit and be scalded to death while still conscious in the defeathering tanks. Many chickens are transported to shops where they are tied up together upside down by their legs and then crammed into cages. The terrified birds have their throats slit with burnt knives and are often put into drums full of scalding water while they are still alive.
This happens everywhere in the world, every second actually in the world. Okay. So no meat, no eggs. How do I get my protein? Okay. Can you tell me, we talk about horsepower, right? Horsepower. Where does the horse get its protein from? Horse, one of the fastest animals. Elephant. Where do they get their protein from?
Yeah, we have Grass, Sonia, Manish, Sneha, Triptis,
Chana,
Chana.
grass.
Yes.
Right, right. So we do not need to worry about our protein. Every single thing we eat has protein. Let me show you. Okay.
Ever since I've been a vegan, it's been like a broken record, an irritating soundbite, looping round and round forever.
Where do you get your protein?
Where do you get your protein? Where do you get your protein? Where do you get your protein? Whoa, where do you get your protein? Tell me where. Apples are 2% protein. Bananas are 5% protein. Oranges are 8% protein. And tomatoes are 19% protein.
Where do you get your protein?
Where do you get your protein? Lettuce, 36% protein. Spinach is 50% protein. Potatoes are 18% protein.
Where do you get your protein?
Where do you get your protein?
Where do you get your protein
Where do you get your protein?
Where do you get your protein?
Where do you get your protein?
那你从哪里得到蛋白质呢？
Where do you get your protein?
Where do you get your protein?
Tell me where. Beans range from 20 to 58% depending on the type of bean. Seeds and nuts give us protein gluts while keeping our arteries clean. Broccoli's got a big 3-3. 33%. Lentils have got a big 3-4. 34%. Soybeans got the big 3-5. And the main thing is I'm alive. I'm a vegan and I'm actually still alive. OMG, LOL, WTF. Where do you get your protein?
Where do you get your protein?
Where do you get the protein? Where do you get your protein? Where do you get your protein?
Where do you get your protein? Where do you get your protein?
Where do you get your protein? Tell me where. Shrooms, mush, shrooms, mush. What about mushrooms, fun guy? Mushrooms contain, as portion of total calories, 56% protein. And in case you want to know about meat, the animal flesh that some people eat, well, beef can contain up to 40% protein. Way less than a kidney bean!
The average American consumes about double the protein his or her own body needs. The truth is that excessive consumption of animal protein badly weakens our bodies. If a diet sufficient in calories is consumed, it's virtually impossible to get an inadequate protein intake. Because our bodies have a vital need for substance doesn't mean that twice or 3 times our need is
I think I've had enough.
So you don't need to worry about protein at all. Have you heard of anybody with protein deficiency? You will not hear. You will hear people with protein excess. Uric acid, kidney stones are all protein excess because of the animal foods that we consume. Okay, so you don't need to worry about protein deficiency, and you just eat a varied diet. Your protein will be taken care of. No fish. How do I get my omega-3? All you have to do is just add this on and off in your diet, not even regularly. Just add some walnuts, chia seeds or flax seeds, and your omega-3s are going to be taken care of. You don't need to worry about that. So what are the 3 things which cause fat into our body? Please type in the chat box. I like to take little tests in between so that I know you all are understanding. What are the 3 things which cause fat in our body, which get those yellow fatty deposits in our body? Please type it in the chat box.
Yeah, Sneha is saying oil, processed food.
And third one? Oil, processed foods, and
meat.
Wonderful. Now, one of the biggest factors of getting fat in our body is by milk. दूध क्यों आता है? दूध, milk is food for growth. A mother gives birth to a baby and nature brings the milk in the mother so that the baby grows. The first year, पहले साल में जितना बच्चा grow करता है, full life में इतना नहीं grow करता है, because milk is food for growth. Cancer is growth. Okay? All right. So milk is pure fat, high protein, and 0 fiber. And when I'm talking about milk, I'm talking about milk, butter, cheese, curd, ghee, anything which has milk. Okay, so I'm going to ask you a few questions. Can you please tell me, when does a mother cow start giving milk? When does a cow start giving milk? You could type in the chat box, please. When does a cow start giving us milk? Correct. Thank you, Trupti. Thank you, Aloma, Manish. When she gives birth, correct? The moment she gives birth, like us, the milk starts coming. So can you tell me who's that milk for? The mother. Correct, Namrata. It's for the calf. Who gets it? Who takes it? Us. Okay. Do you know we get cheek at a special price? Cheek, right? We take it and it does not belong to us. Okay. That's the first karma we are creating by drinking, consuming any animal food. It's not meant for us. ठीक है, we take the milk away. Okay. Now let me tell you, when the calf delivers a baby boy, a baby calf who's a male, what do? They take the male calf, they tie him and leave him there to starve to death. After he dies in 3-4 days, क्योंकि दूध नहीं मिलता है, कुछ नहीं मिलता है. After he dies, his skin is used for leather and his meat is used for veal. India is the largest exporter of beef in the world because we are the highest consumer of milk in the world. Female calf is kept, given little milk to drink and then taken away. Okay. And then they put nets on their face so that they cannot go and drink the mother's milk. Then the cow's milk comes to us. Now, so many women in this group, tell me logically, if your baby does not feed on you too much, what will happen to your milk? If your baby does not feed on you, what will happen to your milk supply? What will happen to your milk supply? Correct, Trupti. It will dry out. It gets dry. How is this mother giving so much milk? How? They inject her so that she produces more and more milk. Now tell me, I remember when I was feeding, no medicines, no antibiotics, no injections. Why? Why is a mother not allowed to take medicines, antibiotics, injections? Can anybody tell me? Correct. It will go into the baby. All those chemicals go into the baby. So what do? They take out the milk from with machines. Now, when the cow is about 2 to 3 months after delivery, they make her pregnant again. How do they make her pregnant? Do they wait for the cow and the bull to mate? No, they artificially inseminate her. In other words, they rape her and make her pregnant again. And then again the cycle starts. And then this continues at least 4 to 5 times until the cow is totally juiced out and then sent for slaughter. Okay, let me just share my screen again. You know, I didn't know all this, but the day I came to know all this, it was easy for me to stop. Very easy. Okay. Don't worry if you didn't know about it. We'll answer all your questions. We are all alive even after 12 years of not consuming dairy. We will tell you everything. Okay. Today in my house, we are making paneer makhan wala. I will explain how we are doing that. Okay. So what is in our milk, butter, cheese, curd, ghee? First of all, it's got pus and bacteria. You know, they take out the milk with machines. Many times when they remove the machines, there is blood, pus, bacteria in it. I remember in one of my classes, somebody from Canada had come and she told me that, you know, in Canada, once blood came out in the milk. Now, this is a dairy industry. They cannot waste the milk. So, you know what they did? They put chocolate powder and sold it as chocolate milk. Now, whenever I see chocolate milk, I remember that. So, your milk contains pus and bacteria. Then your milk contains cholesterol. Why do vegetarians and non-vegetarians get cholesterol? Because meat and milk is same. Meat is high fat, high protein, zero fiber. Milk is high fat, high protein, zero fiber. And milk has cholesterol. The moment we put milk in our body, we also produce cholesterol, but we're putting high cholesterol into our body. Okay. Then plastic. I remember when I was feeding my baby, chana mat khana, baby ko gas ho jayega. The cows are eating plastic full of toxins and PBA materials going into the milk coming back to us. Adrenaline. You think the cow is happy when her baby is taken away? Cow is happy when they put machines and remove the milk, all that adrenaline. I remember when we were feeding our babies, be happy, be in a good mood because it goes into the milk and transferred to the baby. So high level of adrenaline. Anybody here who stopped dairy and has seen a vast difference in their clarity, in their thinking, in their calmness, in their, please type yes in the chat box, in their stress levels. Anybody has seen a marked difference? Please type yes in the chat box. Okay. Urea. I'm sure everybody's typing yes, no, Rachna?
Yes, yes.
Yes, okay. Urea. In India, we don't have containers of refrigerated containers. So they put urea, fertilizer in your milk so that it doesn't get spoiled. And of course, loss of calcium. Anybody here knows somebody with arthritis, osteoporosis, going in for a knee replacement? Anybody knows people like that?
Devi
Please.
is saying yes.
Yes. Have they not been having milk all their life? How come they have loss of calcium? Milk is supposed to give you calcium. How come they're going for arthritis? How come they're getting arthritis? How come they're getting these bone degenerative diseases? Understand this very, very carefully. Our body is alkaline. Milk is acid. Meat is acid. Processed foods are acid. Tea, coffee, alcohol is acid. The moment I put acid in my body wants to come back to its state of alkalinity. So they actually remove the calcium from the bones so that our body becomes alkaline. We have seen so many cases where people stopped their dairy consumption and they didn't have to go for a knee replacement surgery because milk has calcium for its baby calf, not for us humans. Okay. So I'm going to show you a video, last video, which is not so nice, but very, very important to see. Okay. So please watch this very carefully.
The images that you're about to see are not isolated cases. They represent industry standards for animals raised for milk. Cows, buffaloes, and other animals raised for milk have many of the same basic needs as we do, including food, water, shelter, companionship, and the freedom to move around. They feel pain, just as we do, and they understand the world in which they live. Otherwise, they could not survive. Animals raised for milk are forced to endure enormous pain and suffering. They have been turned into milk-producing machines by an industry that has become increasingly industrialized over recent decades. In the year 2007, India produced almost 100 million tons of milk, which is 15% more than the US and 3 times more than China. Like all mammals, animals raised for milk need to become pregnant in order to produce milk. Typically, animals raised for milk are made to give birth to a calf every year, which means they are both lactating and pregnant for at least 7 months a year. Within 3 months of giving birth, a cow is made pregnant again, at times through artificial methods. Artificial insemination is a process by which sperm is collected from the male, processed, stored, and artificially introduced into the female reproductive tract for the purpose of conception. Animals are artificially inseminated by barefoot healers who ignore even minimum standards of care. PETA investigators observed that the artificial insemination guns were rarely sterilized, that syringes and needles were used repeatedly on different animals without being sterilized, and that the barefoot healers shoved their bare, soapy hands into the animals' uteruses, causing the cows immense pain and exposing them to potential infections and diseases. Cows and buffaloes raised for milk in India today are milked over and over using machines which are able to extract more milk than the animals would yield easily. Because workers aren't always paying attention, the machines often continue to run even after the animals' udders are empty, causing them a lot of pain. Many dairy farms do not have drainage facilities, electricity, or a place to dispose of the animals' waste. Buffaloes stand several feet deep in foul-smelling slush. They suffer from skin infections, foot disease, tuberculosis, and other illnesses. Bull calves, who are of no commercial value to the dairy industry, are tied up with ropes so short that they cannot even lift their heads. Very often these calves are sold to slaughterhouses and killed for their skin. Oxytocin is a Schedule H drug, which means it cannot be bought or sold without a prescription. However, its use in the dairy industry, although illegal, is rampant, as the drug causes cows to produce more milk. Oxytocin causes cows to experience severe stomach cramps similar to labor pains and weakens their bones. It also causes them to stop producing milk after just 3 years, at which time the cows are often let loose to fend for themselves in the streets. Cows are transported to states where they can legally be killed. The animals are shoed and then roped together in preparation for the harrowing death march, which can last several days. Handlers pull the cattle by ropes through their noses and twist their necks, horns and tails to keep them moving. They lead, or rather force the cattle down embankments and in and out of trucks without ramps, causing the animals injuries such as broken pelvises, legs, ribs and horns. Another way handlers keep the animals moving is by rubbing chili peppers and tobacco into their eyes. As many as half of the animals will already be dead by the time they arrive at the slaughterhouse. The survivors are often killed in full view of each other, and instead of the required quick slice across the throat with a sharp knife, they are generally killed through hacking and sawing with a dull blade. It all comes down to pain and suffering, not intelligence, not strength, not social class or civil right. Pain and suffering are in themselves bad and should be prevented. Say no to that slice of cheese or glass of milk. There are so many nutritious, delicious and cruelty-free recipes.
So no milk. How do I get my calcium? You don't need to worry if you see this chart. Human breast milk has only 33 milligrams of calcium. That's the biggest time we grow. We don't need more calcium. Sesame seeds have 1,160 milligrams of calcium. Cow's milk calcium is 120 milligrams, but it is for the baby calf, not for us. So we all are, most of us in SHARAN are 50 plus. None of us have calcium supplements because we do not have dairy. Okay, even Dr. Nandita does not have any calcium supplements. So this is just a small list. Most of the foods we eat have calcium. So you do not need to worry about calcium deficiency as well. Okay, remember how I started. When you eat a plant-based diet, look at the yellow fatty deposits. Look at the vegetarian one, which has dairy, and look at the meat-eating one. Okay, and the vegetarian one also increases over time. So if we want this fatty deposits to not accumulate, we have to stop putting them into our body. Everybody has heard of Baskin Robbins. Let me tell you a very interesting story. Baskin and Robbins were two brothers who started the Baskin Robbins ice cream. Robbins had a son called John. Jab John became 18 years old, 21 years old, his chacha, Mr. Baskins, got a heart issue. This boy was a very curious 21-year-old, and he found out everything that I told you today about dairy, about meat, about oil, everything. And then he realized, oh my God, what are we feeding the world? Because what is ice cream made up of? Milk, sugar, preservatives, artificial colorings. It's processed. He told his dad at the age of 21, Dad, I cannot be a part of this anymore. And his dad said, are you lost it? Because by the time they were already $1 million industry. That boy at the age of 21 said, I'm sorry, we have to stop this. So his dad said, "Theek hai, you leave. If you leave, I'm not give you a cent." And that boy at the age of 21, because his conscience had risen, left, and today he, along with his son, have started the Food Revolution Network. And because of them, there are over 200 restaurants, vegan restaurants in New York alone. They're doing the same work that SHARAN is doing in India to make people aware about how we can eat our way to health. And this is what John says: animals do not give their life to us. Cows do not give their milk to us as the sugar coated lie would have it. They struggle and fight to their last breath, just as we would if we were in their place. Let's see how intelligent animals are. Anybody has pets over here? Do you have pets? A cat or a dog? Anybody has pets? Please type yes in the chat box. Tell me, are your pets intelligent? Can they
Shanti is
communicate?
saying yes. Yes. Vasanti is saying yes.
Aren't your animals intelligent? Aren't they intelligent? Animals are very, very intelligent creatures. So are hens, and so are pigs, and so are goats. Okay? In fact, pandas who are pregnant are given better living conditions. So a panda actually faked her pregnancy to get better living conditions. That's how intelligent animals are. See how intelligent animals are. So anybody who does not consume anything which comes from an animal is called vegan. And vegan is everywhere. If you love chicken, try jackfruit curry. Tastes exactly like chicken. Soy curry for mutton, yam curry for fish as a fish alternative, soy kebabs, tofu omelets, tofu burji. Our Indian meal, basic Indian meal is vegan. Just learn how to make curd and ghee and you're sorted. Okay, South Indian meals are mostly vegan. Oriental meals, they use tofu. We are the ones who use paneer. If you know how to make cheese, you can make Mexican, you can make Italian, you can have delicious vegan desserts, ice creams, cookies, coffee, everything. You don't miss out on anything. These are some vegans. These are some latest ones. Okay. The Williams sisters, Djokovic actually has a restaurant, a vegan restaurant as well. Okay. So the first F, remember I talked to you about 3 Fs. First F was fat, what we should not put into our body. जब हम दिवाली की सफाई करते हैं पहले कचरा नहीं लाते हैं. फिर क्या करते हैं, कचरा निकालते हैं। अभी इतने सालों से जो हम लोग ने फैट अक्यूमुलेट किया है, फ्रॉम सो मेनी इयर्स वी हैव अक्यूमुलेटेड फैट, उसको कैसे निकाले? So when I went vegan, I stopped putting fat. But how did I lose 17 kilos in 8 months? What did I do? This is where the second F comes, and that is fiber added. Okay, fiber acts as a broom inside our body. We every day wash our bodies. रोज हम लोग बाहर से बॉडी की सफाई करते हैं. What about अंदर से बॉडी की सफाई करना? That comes with fiber. Fiber कहाँ से आता है? From where do we get fiber? Fruits. Have lots and lots of fruits throughout the day. You can make your breakfast only fruits. You can have dinner only as fruits. You can have lunch only as fruits. Have lots of fruits. Remember fruits? Only one rule with fruits. Don't have fruits with cooked food, okay? Or with salad. Fruits should be had on their own. Never mix it with other food, okay? Second, vegetables, salads. The more raw food you have, the more you're cleansing your body from inside. Okay? Green smoothies. Every day I start my morning with a delicious green smoothie. It's taking leaves, frozen fruit, mostly bananas, put water, blend them, and it's a delicious drink. Anybody here who has smoothies and loves them, please type me in the chat box. Smoothies are so delicious, full of nutrition and fiber. Okay?
We
Uh,
have people typing me in
Lots of them have, right?
the
Okay. Whole foods, vegetables and fruits with the skin, because maximum nutrition is under the skin. Whichever fruits and vegetables you can have with skin. Grains, whole wheat, whole rolled oats, ragi, jawar, bajra. These are all whole foods. They're full of fiber. Brown rice, red rice, black rice, white rice, the fiber has been removed. Beans, legumes, nuts, seeds, these are all whole foods. See, so much you can eat. So much. Okay. The third F. The third F. So, first F was stopping the fat. Second F was adding the fiber. Third F, only food is not health. There is more than food to health, and that is fitness. Fitness comes in two forms. Okay, physical fitness. Please don't tell me you don't have time, because if you don't make time for exercise, you'll have to make time for illness. So, exercise every day, at least 5 times a week, 30 minutes minimum. Very, very important. Okay, and next is mental fitness, the most important, I would say. Once your mental fitness is sorted, everything else gets sorted. Okay? Because your mind is the most powerful medicine. And the best cure for a body is a quiet mind. So embrace spirituality, embrace affirmations, embrace gratitude. Do something every day for your mental fitness as well. So eat right, do right, and think right. These are the three F's to good health. Okay. So Sharan has a 5 point plan to health. Number one, plant-based, nothing which comes from an animal. Number two, organic and whole. I buy everything organic. 99% of the food that I eat is organic. Only when I go out, but at least I say buy less clothes in a month. Go less to a restaurant in a month. Put that money in buying organic foods, because organic has no chemicals. Chemicals, remember, stop the removal of fat from your body. So instead of paying the doctor, pay the farmer. Whole foods. Then we have off packaged and processed foods. Oil is a packaged and processed foods. All that fafara, all that farsa, everything we have very less, or don't have if you can. You can make oil free ones at home as well, and they are delicious. Trust us. Okay. And the only two things that you have to take care of is vitamin D and B12, because this does not come from food. Vitamin D comes from sunshine, vitamin B12 comes from bacteria, good bacteria. But because of this Wi-Fi and everything, the bacteria. So, whatever diet you're following, please check your vitamin D and B12. and supplement it if it is low. And if you decide to go to a vegan diet, if I stay in Bombay, May, it was raining in May. It's climate change. A biggest reason for climate change is animal agriculture. There is another whole talk I can do on that, but right now, today, we're talking about health. But each day, a vegan choice saves 1,100 gallons of water, 20 pounds of less carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, 45 pounds of grain, 30 square feet of forest, and one animal life per day. If most of us start going on a plant based diet, we can actually reverse climate change. Okay. So, a lot of doctors are now understanding them and realizing this. Please see this.
Hi, I'm Dr. Sanchita Bhattacharya and I'm a holistic health physician.
Hi, I'm Dr. Pinky Thapar. I'm a practicing gastrointestinal and laparoscopic surgeon at Jupiter Hospital, Thane.
I'm Dr. Tejasvi and I attended the seminar today conducted by SHARAN.
I have been an allopathic doctor, but because of some challenges in the family, I realized that medicine is really not the way to get rid of your chronic lifestyle diseases.
I was leading towards osteoporosis, and after stopping all the milk products and dairy products, I have seen a remarkable change in my health.
Over a period of years, I realized diet plays a major role in most diseases. So if we correct our diet, we can cure or help in healing many diseases, especially the lifestyle diseases. One of my friends introduced me to SHARAN, and today I attended this program. It was an eye-opener for many things which we have a mind block.
And the seminar has been just excellent. We've got a lot of inputs, very important inputs, which has again reinforced in me the need to actually make my patients work towards a vegan life. And personally, we have benefited. My husband is a diabetic, but he has been able to get off a lot of his medicines because of a vegan diet. I'm also a vegan now, and we are trying to convert the whole family into vegan because it's really the way to live a healthy life.
I would advise as a doctor to everybody to go ahead with this diet. Today I can believe that medicines are not required to cure. It's only food which will cure you.
I'm really going for it, and I'll definitely try to be vegan at least 100%, if not 110%.
The food that has been served was awesome, just awesome. I mean, oil-free cooking can be so good. You can't imagine without tasting the food that was served here.
Wonderful.
Even the main mind block or hitch was the curds. I love curds and paneer.
Right.
But after having the raita today, which looked as good as normal dahi raita.
Correct.
So I'm definitely going to go for this. And overall, you feel much more composed and satisfied with your own self. Temperament is better. So, and it's basically you feel love and compassion for the other living beings.
So I'm really glad I made the attempt to come here, learn so much more from Dr. Nandita Shah. She's an amazing person who has gone and done so much and is doing so much for the world so that people can lead a healthier life. Thank you.
So, SHARAN is there to support you. We have a website with over 400 recipes. We are there on Facebook, on Instagram. We have a WhatsApp broadcast list where we send out health tips, details about our programs, recipes. We have an amazing YouTube channel. We do online consultations. We have lots of free events, potlucks, cooking classes, seminars, weight loss programs, retreats, recipe books, anything which will help you regain your health. Okay, I just want to end with this. You have everything in the world, but you don't have health, you don't have anything. So it is our health that is our real wealth and not pieces of silver and gold. Okay, thank you very much.